Just moments ago, while Governor Gavin Newsom stood in front of cameras celebrating what he believed was his greatest political victory, a classified document was being finalized inside SpaceX headquarters in Bastrop, Texas. What Newsom doesn't know is that Elon Musk has just armed himself with the most explosive political weapon in modern American history. And when he pulled the trigger, the shockwave reached every corner of Washington, D.C. For over 18 months, Newsom orchestrated a calculated campaign to dismantle Musk's empire. The California Coastal Commission blocked SpaceX launches. The FTC opened multiple investigations into X's data practices. State environmental regulators descended on Tesla facilities with clipboards and fines. It looked coordinated because it was coordinated. But Musk had been watching, documenting, preparing. And when he finally struck back, the entire political establishment realized they had underestimated the one man they couldn't control. Early one morning this week, at 9:47 a.m., Elon Musk stood inside the glass-walled war room on the third floor of X headquarters in Bastrop. His legal team had just delivered what they internally called Project Redline. The 340-page dossier contained irrefutable evidence linking Governor Newsom's office to a multi-agency conspiracy involving the Department of Justice, the Federal Trade Commission, and California state regulators. The goal was simple: force Musk out of California, cripple his businesses, and send a warning to every billionaire who dared challenge progressive policies. Musk held the document, flipping through pages stamped attorney-client privileged in red ink, email chains, meeting transcripts, financial records showing how $4.2 billion in federal contracts were mysteriously delayed after Musk criticized the administration's AI regulations on X. One email, buried deep in the files, stopped him cold. It was from Marcus Delgado, a senior policy advisor in Newsom's Sacramento office, to Jennifer Hartwell, a DOJ attorney in Washington. The subject line read, "Musk problem, timeline for removal." The email laid out a detailed strategy to make California uninhabitable for Musk's operations through coordinated regulatory pressure. Launch permits denied, labor audits escalated, tax incentives revoked, environmental fines doubled without justification. "They wanted me bankrupt or gone," Musk said quietly to his general counsel, David Cho, seated across the table. "Every investigation timed for maximum media damage. Every fine calculated to hurt." Cho nodded grimly. "We have enough here to trigger RICO statutes. Conspiracy to interfere with interstate commerce. This goes beyond politics, Elon. This is criminal." Musk's jaw tightened. His eyes narrowed with cold determination. "Release everything, all of it, before they can spin the narrative." 200 miles west, inside the ornate California State Capitol building, Governor Gavin Newsom was riding, the highest approval ratings of his career. Just past 11 that morning, he wrapped up a press conference announcing a massive green energy initiative. Cameras flashed. Environmental activists applauded. Newsom's trademark smile was effortless, polished, presidential. Behind closed doors, his chief of staff, Anthony Ramirez, was sprinting down the marble hallway towards the governor's private office. His phone buzzed incessantly. Notifications flooded his screen. Something was terribly wrong. Ramirez burst through the door, breathless. "Governor, we have a major situation. Musk just posted something." Newsom looked up from his desk, annoyed but not concerned. "Another conspiracy rant? Let him scream into the void." Ramirez placed his phone on the mahogany desk. Screen up. The post on X had exploded to 6 million views in less than 20 minutes. It was a thread, 23 posts long, each one surgically dismantling the narrative that Musk left California by choice. Attached was a secure link to download the full Project Redline dossier. Newsom scrolled. His expression shifted from irritation to confusion to cold alarm. The seventh post included a screenshot of that damning email. Delgado's name was redacted, but the California governor's office letterhead was unmistakable. "Who the hell leaked this?" Newsom's voice was low, controlled, but fury simmered beneath. "We don't know yet. But sir, it's worse. Fox News is running it as breaking news. CNN has legal analysts on air right now. Senator Ted Cruz just called for immediate congressional hearings. The House Oversight Committee is already preparing subpoenas." Newsom stood abruptly, pacing to the window overlooking Capitol Park. His mind raced through options, damage control scenarios, legal defenses. "Get communications on this immediately. Full denial. Call it fabricated conspiracy theory. Musk is desperate, lashing out because he failed in California." Ramirez shook his head slowly. "Governor, the documents have embedded metadata. Timestamps match state server logs. Digital forensics experts are already authenticating them online. Legal says we need to prepare for the worst. Now." Newsom's hands clenched into fists. For the first time in years, he had no easy way out. Across the country, that same afternoon, the Department of Justice headquarters in Washington, D.C. became a pressure cooker. Deputy Attorney General Kenneth Mallory convened an emergency meeting in the fifth-floor conference room. Senior officials from civil rights, antitrust, and the Office of Legislative Affairs sat around the table, faces grim. Mallory had spent hours reviewing portions of the leaked dossier. If even a fraction of it was accurate, the political fallout would be nuclear. "Someone explained to me," Mallory said slowly, his voice ice-cold, "how confidential communications between state officials and federal prosecutors ended up in the hands of Elon Musk." An assistant director from Antitrust cleared his throat nervously. "Sir, preliminary internal investigation suggests the leak originated from within the California Coastal Commission, an IT contractor with broad server access." Mallory's eyes narrowed dangerously. "And the FTC investigation into X's data handling? Was that coordinated with the governor's office?" Silence filled the room. Finally, a senior trial attorney spoke carefully. "There were informal consultations, standard practice when state and federal enforcement interests align on regulatory matters." "Informal consultations," Mallory repeated, his tone sharp as a blade. "Because when this goes to Congress, informal consultations will sound exactly like collusion, and we'll all be testifying under oath." Meanwhile, behind closed doors in the Oval Office, President Donald Trump sat behind the resolute desk with Elon Musk seated directly across from him. Musk had flown in that morning on a Gulfstream G650. The meeting wasn't on any official schedule. No aides present. Just two men who understood power. "You've got them cornered," Trump said, leaning forward with a wide grin. Newsom thought he was untouchable. The golden boy of the Democratic Party. Now he's scrambling like a rat. Musk nodded. "He weaponized federal agencies against private enterprise. That's not policy disagreement. That's tyranny." Trump's smile widened, the kind that preceded a knockout punch. "I'll make calls. Jim Jordan will fast-track oversight hearings. We'll drag Newsom, the DOJ, the FTC, all of them into public testimony, under oath, on camera, and Gavin?" Trump chuckled darkly. "He won't survive this." Later that afternoon, back in Sacramento, Newsom's legal team delivered devastating news. The dossier referenced at least 11 separate communications between the governor's office and federal agencies over 16 months. Each one discussed strategies to escalate regulatory pressure on Musk's companies. Worse, financial records showed California withheld $340 million in state tax incentives from Tesla immediately after Musk publicly criticized Newsom's policies. "This is coordinated retaliation," Newsom's lead attorney, Patricia Vance, said bluntly. "And it's documented in writing. If Congress subpoenas our internal emails, we're in serious legal jeopardy. Criminal exposure is on the table." Newsom stared at the wall, silent. His presidential ambitions, carefully constructed over a decade, were unraveling in real time. By early evening, Lina Khan, chair of the Federal Trade Commission, sat in her Alexandria, Virginia office, staring at her laptop screen in disbelief. The FTC's investigation into X had been aggressive, relentless, unprecedented in scope. Khan had personally signed off on multiple subpoenas demanding internal communications, user data audits, and financial records. She believed she was protecting consumers from corporate overreach. Now, leaked emails revealed that FTC enforcement actions against X coincided, suspiciously, with phone calls from California state officials. One internal memo, written by an FTC senior economist, explicitly stated, "Governor's office requesting expedited action on Musk file." Khan's phone rang. It was the FTC's general counsel, his voice tense. "Lina, we need to talk. House Judiciary just sent a formal letter demanding all communications between our office and California officials regarding Musk. They're invoking oversight authority. This is moving extremely fast." Khan closed her eyes. She had been used as a political weapon, and now the blowback was coming for her. Within hours, the story had metastasized into a full-blown national crisis. Cable news networks ran wall-to-wall coverage. Legal experts debated whether RICO charges could apply to government officials conspiring against a private citizen. Conservative commentators called it the biggest political scandal in decades. Progressive outlets scrambled to defend Newsom, calling the leaked documents stolen and out of context. But the damage was done. Public opinion shifted rapidly. A Snap poll showed 68% of Americans believed Musk was targeted for political reasons. Even Democrats in California began quietly distancing themselves from Newsom, sensing the political winds changing. Late that night, in a quiet room inside Mar-a-Lago, Donald Trump made a phone call to Speaker of the House Mike Johnson. "Mike, we're going full throttle on this. Oversight, judiciary, even ways and means if we need to trace the money. Newsom tried to destroy Musk because he couldn't control him. That's un-American. And we're going to make an example out of everyone involved." Johnson agreed without hesitation. Hearings were scheduled within weeks. Subpoenas would be issued within days. The entire apparatus of congressional oversight was mobilizing for war. Back in Bastrop, Texas, late into the night, Elon Musk sat alone in his office, staring out at the dark Texas sky. His phone buzzed constantly, messages of support from allies worldwide, threats from enemies, interview requests from every major media outlet on the planet. But Musk wasn't celebrating. He knew this was just the opening move. The real battle was about to begin. He typed a final post before shutting down his laptop for the night. "They thought they could silence me by destroying my companies. They forgot one thing. I don't break, I build, and now I'm building their downfall. Stay tuned." The post went viral instantly. 15 million views in the first hour. The political landscape has shifted overnight. Gavin Newsom, once the untouchable future of the Democratic Party, is now fighting for his political survival. The DOJ is scrambling to contain the fallout. The FTC faces congressional scrutiny that could dismantle its leadership. And Elon Musk, the man they tried to destroy, has just demonstrated something terrifying to every politician in America. He fights back. And he wins. This isn't just about one billionaire versus one governor. This is about what happens when unchecked political power collides with someone who refuses to be controlled. This is about accountability. This is about the hidden machinery of government being dragged into the light for everyone to see. And this story is far from over. Because what Musk just revealed is only phase one. What's coming next will shake Washington to its core. Secret recordings, financial trails, more names, The entire network of coordination between state and federal agencies is about to be exposed. If you believe the truth matters, write in the comments right now. Truth wins. Share this video with 3 people who need to see what really happens behind closed doors. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications because the mainstream media won't tell you this story. They can't. They're too busy protecting the politicians who tried to destroy the man who refuses to stay silent. The system wanted Elon Musk gone. Instead, they just made him unstoppable.